Y'all already know what it is. And yeah, December 31st, 2025. It has been a hell of a year for me. And I told myself stress wasn't going to win this year. And I'm moving towards that. I went through a lot this year. I let a lot of things happen and take place that I probably shouldn't have. I let a lot of people get away with a lot of things. I let people move and change up and act funny. And, I lost some friends. I gained some friends. I found love. I lost love. I did a lot this year. This year was crazy. When I think about it, I just think that, sometimes things happen and we have to advance and do something about them. And sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. What I've learned this year is that you cannot control other people's feelings and movements. They're going to make themselves believe whatever it is, they want to believe. Like, delusion was a key thing for a lot of people this year. This year was, I think I found myself this year. I really do. I think I found myself in more ways than one this year. I started finding out who was cool and who wasn't, who was for me and who wasn't. And, I'm not a perfect being. I've given a lot of screw ups and mistakes and things like that. So I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. But I think I deserved a lot more than what people were giving. And so I told myself, yeah, we're not doing it. I ain't big on the new year, the new me and all that shit. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing the new year, new me. I'm more so new year, same me, better morals, better standards. That's how I'm coming. That's how I'm coming. I've listened. When you watch people that you care about and you show love to, and they constantly take shots at you and they constantly give you sarcasm and they constantly got so much negative to say until, they want you around or they need you or, they find out the grass ain't as green as they thought it was on the outside. You live and you learn. But needless to say, 2026 is probably going to be one of them years for me. I've been doing a lot of cutting off, and some people I'll double back because I'll get to thinking, who they are and things like that. I get to thinking, but then some people I get cut off and get left. I think a lot of times we'll sit here and we'll give grace. I think for me, I've ran out of grace. I think I don't even argue with people no more. Like I don't argue. There's no point. You said what you said, you feel what you feel. Stand on that shit. But anyway, we built the house in stage 7, right? Stage 7, we talked about sharing our lives and putting things together. But now we got to maintain the foundation. You ever look at your partner, right? And realize that y'all haven't had a conversation in weeks? The silence is loud. Tonight, I'm going to take a little throwback song and put some emphasis on it tonight. We're going to talk about the Boyz II Men song that they tried to warn us, water runs dry. And it does, okay? This is stage 8. This is the crisis. It's not an explosion. It's a slow leak. I think there is a communication drought that a lot of couples go through, because in the early stages, you feel like you know everything about them and everything that they're saying. It Styles, what up, my guy? I think you go through everything that they're saying, and communication sometimes dries up. So this episode tonight is about that. It's about, you know what I'm saying? The intimacy gap. It's not there. And why you have to save the love before the well is empty. Water runs dry, well is empty. Y'all get it. Dad joke, whatever. What is the first sign, right? I want y'all to leave a comment. Let me know, what is the first sign that shows you and your partner, y'all starting to drift apart? Is it the silence? Is it the just going about y'all day? Is it the petty arguments over nothing? I mean, absolutely nothing. Drop a comment down below, man, when you hear this, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and let me know some signs that you believe that you know. What is the first sign that you know y'all falling off? And Big Smash is gonna help y'all try to figure that out tonight. All right, because I talk these songs off experience, because I've went through them, going through them, or I've seen it. So when they said we don't even talk no more, and we don't even know what we arguing about, crazy work, right? You'll sit here, y'all will be cool, everything is good. So you think, but the other person has other ideas. They want to argue, they want to nitpick, they want to, you know what I'm saying, kick shit up because they're bored. This is what I've come to realize. Now, this might not be the outcome for everybody else, but what I've seen is boredom. They love toxicity. You know what I'm saying? And when I say they, I'm speaking on me too, because for me, if we wasn't into it, then it really was boring. But I've seen experiences where we don't even talk anymore. That just means that you're just existing. You're not connecting. You pass each other in the hallway and you nod. Y'all talk about the bills, the kids, the schedule, but you don't talk about the soul. It ain't no soul in it. All right. When the curiosity dies, right, the relationship starts to rot. Real shit. Yo, you are now, if y'all just passing each other, y'all roommates. Y'all paying rent. Y'all not soulmates building a life. Y'all roommates. Y'all just sitting there taking up space and atmosphere. And silence is not peace. Sometimes silence is the end of the road, the end of the line. And to avoid that, you got to be the first one to go head on and cut the tension, man. You got to talk about it. A lot of times, listen, a lot of people in relationships don't like talking about their problems because all it does is lead to arguments and fights and curse outs. And you know what I'm saying? I personally don't like doing it. Like, if we don't have a solution, if I'm not a voice, if you're not hearing me, if you're not hearing what I gotta say, but you very well want me to hear everything you have to say, and when I tell you, because there's a conversation that has to be had in there. But when I tell you, I think, listen, and I'm going to tread very lightly when I say this. Women, a good majority of them, I'm not going to say all, they love to be right. They love to have their way. They love to overthink. Okay? So when they don't get these things, when they don't get told that they're right, when they don't get told that, you know, whatever you say, then it tends to become repetitive with the arguing and nitpicking, and y'all into it and y'all beefing, and now, you know, everything. Me, I told y'all the other day what Big Smash is going to do. I'm different. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to get into it with you. I'm not going to beef with you. I'm going to just say, okay. And I'm going to go on about my day. A lot of women don't like that. They want you to argue. I'm not arguing. You know what I'm saying? My mind frame is a little different. Now, we can have a conversation if it's actually going to lead somewhere. Like, we both taking accountability. We both know where we went wrong at it. Not just, well, you smashed, you did this, and blah, 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 zay, and I'm perfect, and I did. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I refuse. And it's okay. It's okay to, go through that, but then y'all going through shit and y'all don't know what y'all arguing about. You fighting over the remote control. You fighting over dishes. You fighting over tone of voice. You know what I'm saying? Listen, a lot of people, if you really understood me, right, you will know. If you know Big Smash, I don't celebrate holidays like that. I don't. I'm not a big fan of holidays. I'm not a big fan of Christmas. I'm not a big fan of my birthday. I'm not a big fan of New Year's, Valentine. I'm not a fan of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I will do those things because of who I deal with or whatever the case is. I'm not a fan of that shit. So when people try to get mad at me for not wanting to celebrate those days or shit like that, it's just me. I'm not that person. I don't get excited about those things. When those things are going on, I'm typically in the house. I'm doing what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. I'm not a outgoing person like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I will go out, but the emphasis that people be putting on these holidays, on these man-made ass holidays, I don't be having that same enthusiasm. It don't affect me. You know what I'm saying? The countdown is tonight. Everybody, I'm sure they're gonna be drinking and chilling and partying with their family. Me, I'm gonna be right here, probably on live or somewhere with the kids, or you know what I'm saying, some shit like that. I don't celebrate those type of things. All right. So you're not really mad about that stuff that's going on. You're just mad about the disconnect. You lack intimacy. You manufacture conflict just to feel something. Sometimes I think the argument is a cry for attention. You know what I'm saying? I really do sometimes think people argue, people get into it. It's a cry for attention. It's a cry for I'm bored and I just want to beef and get into it because us getting along ain't really a good thing. So they don't be mad at the trash being full. They mad that your love tank is empty. So how do you go about doing that? You're hitting an emotional wall. All right. Don't even say I love you no more, because saying how we feel is no longer allowed. I gotta tell you, I was in a relationship just like this, where my feelings didn't matter. Couldn't say what I wanted to say without it turning into a fight, or it turning into an argument, or it turned into her leaving or blocking me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, you stop talking about your feelings. You just let them have at it. You be the bad guy. You be the villain, because let everybody tell it I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain, when I don't do the things that people want them to do. Or they'll turn around and say, well, hey, I did this because you did this. No, you did that because you wanted to do that and you had been doing that. So now you used me as a scapegoat to take away everything that you've been doing. Stop doing that shit. Okay? When you stop saying I love you, you stop feeding the spirit of the relationship. It becomes a sterile environment. Don't make an arrangement, right? Don't make an arrangement and then get mad when the arrangement is being carried out. I hate that shit. Like, don't give me the green light to do something and then turn around because you see that I'm having fun and you see that I'm taking advantage of whatever is being presented in front of me. And now you feel like, oh yeah, you're having too much fun. Now I'm gonna sit here and mope and find an attitude off something we both agreed to. I don't like that shit either. Somewhere along the line, you gotta look deeper. Okay? When you say feelings are no longer allowed, that means the environment has become unsafe. Somewhere along the line, they punished you for being vulnerable. And you shut down. Okay? You created a rule for this shit where feelings are weakness, right? You ain't allowed to have feelings. You have to just suck it up. And we all been in relationships like that where your feelings wasn't really heard or listened to or thought about. You know, you have to repel that law immediately because your feelings matter. Otherwise, why are you doing this? Some people work things out and some just don't know how to change. Some people are stuck in their ways where they will treat you right for a couple of days and everything feels good and y'all getting along and the conversation is vibing. And then there's something that triggers them, that sends them over the edge, something that really wasn't that big to begin with, but they gonna make it big. You know, and you can't tell them, hey, I don't agree with you on this. I don't like that. That's not true. That's not what's going on. But they will argue and argue and argue. And now you just get to the point where, all right, look, I gotta agree with you. If that's what's gonna bring the peace, I gotta agree with you. And you don't want to. You shouldn't have to. Okay? This is the fork in the road. The crisis isn't the problem, right? The refusal to change is the problem. You know what I'm saying? If you are with someone who doesn't know how to change, someone who refuses to adapt, they don't want to go through therapy, they don't want to listen, that water will run dry. And you cannot hydrate a rock. Straight up. If they tough as a rock and they hard as a brick, you can't hydrate that shit. Don't even waste your time trying to. All right? Now you can see the tears in our eyes, but we deny the pain that lies deep in our hearts. They can see the tears. You think they hiding it, but the village knows. Your mom knows. Your friends know. Your pops know. The vibe is off. Something is off. But you'll turn around, you'll deny the pain. You'll deny the pain. You'll try to fight it. You know? You are gaslighting yourself in order to keep the peace. You are pretending everything is fine while you bleed out internally. All right? Denial is the dam that stops the healing water from flowing. So yeah, the water is running dry and it ain't gonna heal, it ain't gonna get better because you stopping it. You stopping it. All right? Everybody knows that we're both torn apart. Okay? There is shame in admitting that your relationship is failed. Especially after you posted all those goals and you know what I'm saying, in stage 5. Y'all was goals. But keeping up with appearances sometimes is exhausting. You talking about somebody that yeah, I did that. You know, you are working harder to look happy than you are actually on being happy. Sometimes you got to drop that mask. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the tear. You know, you're gonna deal with it because a lot of times people don't really be caring about your feelings. They don't care about your feelings. They care about themselves. And you can tell people a bunch of times like, yo, this ain't what it is. This ain't what's going on. And they don't want to hear that shit. They want to just hear what they want to hear. So eventually now it's a tear inside the fabric because you keep trying to stitch the tear up with tape or thread or whatever you try, and they keep ripping that shit apart. So it'll never fully heal. You know? Yes, why do you hurt each other? Why do you push love away? I'll tell you why. People do that. Intimacy is scary. A lot of times people think that just because they got so many motherfuckers DMing them and chasing them and texting them, and they done had relations with this person, that person, they feel like, hey, listen, I can get whoever I want to. You're irreplaceable. You are replaceable. You know what I'm saying? I can get anybody I want to. I don't need you type shit. And when things get hard, Our instinct, what's our first instinct? Our first instinct is to protect ourselves, not the relationship. We want to protect us first. Selfish? Yes, in a way, in a sense, it is. Sometimes we hurt people before they even get a chance to hurt us. So because of everything that you went through with that person, you're gonna make sure it don't happen this time, because you're gonna beat them to the punch. You're gonna hurt them before they even look like they finna hurt you. All right? You push people away to see if they will fight to come back. This is a toxic test. Stop pushing your blessing away just because you're scared of the weight of it. It's a lot of weight over here. All right, real talk. I don't allow bullshit. And that's just, I think that's the difference with me coming into 2026. I'm not allowing bullshit. I'm not allowing anybody to fuck up my peace and make up shit about me that I know isn't true. Like, I think I've spent more time this year defending myself and pleading my case more than I have in the last 20 some years combined. So I told myself, yeah, we ain't doing that no more. Think what you want to think, move how you want to move. I don't care. I don't care. Real shit. I don't care. Let's don't wait till the water runs dry. We might watch our whole lives pass us by. We make the biggest mistakes of our lives. All right? Watch our whole lives pass by. If you stay in a dry relationship for over 10 years, hoping that it'll rain, you have wasted a decade of your time. You deserve a wet, flowing, abundant love. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that just make your soul feel happy, your soul smile. You need that shit. You know what I'm saying? This mistake right here isn't the struggle. The mistake is waiting, right? Waiting for them to change, waiting for them to hear you, waiting for them to love you, waiting for them to get it right, waiting for it to magically get better, right? It ain't gonna get better just waiting. Sometimes you gotta get up there. You have to be the rainmaker. You have to act now. Boyz II Men called it the biggest mistake of our lives. Not a small error. The biggest. You're losing a good person because you was too lazy to water the plant is a tragedy. Most relationships don't die from murder. You know what I'm saying? They don't die from murder. They don't die from the simple shit. They don't die from the crazy shit. Most relationships die from not caring enough. They don't die from murder, which in some cases is cheating. They die from neglect. They die from starvation. Don't let your comfort kill your connection. Check the water level tonight. I do my best to check my water levels, even though sometimes I might be a little off, but I do my best to check it. You know what I'm saying? A drought doesn't mean the land is dead, though. That's what people get that constant mistake from. It just means it needs rain. Rain requires work. Get up there and work it out. You know what I'm saying? Get up there and work it out. You have to seed for the effort to come through. All right? Vulnerability breaks the deadlock. Okay? You have to move. You have to grow. It doesn't just stop when communication isn't there, because everybody wants to be right. I've been in relationships with people who I know have done me wrong and deserve everything that I ever gave them. And then I've been in relationships with people that didn't do wrong at all, that were, just at the time I wasn't ready. So when you come into these relationships, when you finally, y'all sharing the same space and y'all building with each other and y'all growing with each other, one of the main things that you have to remember is it's with each other. Y'all not moving separate no more. And a lot of times you'll sit here and you'll argue with people, and they'll want you to argue because in their mind they always have to be right. They always have to be right. And then sometimes you will shut down. You will shut down from your emotions because it's like, yo, I'm telling you exactly what it is I feel. I'm telling you exactly what it is that's coming from the heart. I'm telling you exactly everything that I mean. And somehow a person, man or woman, will be like, so what you're saying is, and twist everything you just said around for their own benefit. You could tell them, hey, listen, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I don't like the way you be talking to me sometimes. You know, I don't like the sarcasm. I don't like the typing in caps, you know, in text messages. I really feel like sometimes you overthink and you overdo it. I feel like sometimes you delusional, right? That is very respectful, right? What they hear is, you don't want me to talk. You don't want me to voice my opinion. You don't want to hear me, and you don't want me to, you know, This is what they heard. They don't hear the nice shit. And then they'll be like, you know what? Fine. No more texting in big letters. No more sarcasm. No more this. I'll just sit here and I'll just let you lead and just do whatever it is you want to do. Like, God damn. After about 3 or 4 of those, you feel like, yeah, it's really no point in me talking, because you're going to change up everything that I'm saying to fit your own benefit. You could tell there was a situation, right, where I ended up helping out a friend, right? I ended up moving into a space with a friend, right? Now, this is just a friend. Like, for real. Like, all bullshit aside. For those that know Big Smash, I have no problems keeping it a buck. If I'm doing something with this person, I'm going to say something. But no, in this particular instance, they were just friends. And at the time, when you're going through relationships and you're trying to put your things in place and you're trying to get things in place because life hits you in so many ways and not everybody understands it. All they heard was, this is a woman that you used to mess with, so y'all still fucking. They don't hear, I got my own space. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty decent sized house. This'll help get my money up. This'll help them out. We'll do this, and then, you know what I'm saying, I can get back in the red. I'm fucked up right now in a sense. So I went through a whole spell every single day hearing about this. You fucking and y'all fucking and y'all this, y'all that. And it's just like, yo, if I'm telling you what it is, that's just what it is. The lines of communication are there because I didn't have to say, because let's keep it a buck, right? Men, we are liars. Some of us are better liars than others, but we are liars. I think that's a natural thing. Men lie. Women lie. You know what I'm saying? But if you are on a straight path, you don't have to lie. Needless to say, listen, that situation could have went a bunch of different ways. You know what I'm saying? We could have worked through that situation, but because of her ego and her guilt and the way that she was moving, you know, she didn't really understand that men and women can be friends. Now, mind you, she had male friends and you know, she was still thick as thieves with her baby daddy. And you know how many times the thought has crossed my mind, like, oh, y'all still fucking. But you know how many times that men act out on them type of things? We don't. Then there's another situation where I came across someone who I loved and I just adore, right? Good people. But then it's like we get together, we working it out, we fixing on it, and you know, her ex keeps popping up, right? And first it's little things, you know, still trying to bond with the kid and, you know, shit like that. All right, that's cool. You know, I never stop anybody from having a relationship with a child. If that's That's y'all bond. That's y'all bond. But then it started coming towards more of using the child to get to the woman type of thing. And as a man that has been down that path, you start to understand what the fuck going on. He coming around and it start off, little gifts here and there, little conversation here and there, all in a biz. Oh, I heard you flying out to go see your little boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Just doing shit like that, just picking at the scenario and shit. Then it come to buying gifts for birthdays and holidays and shit. And now you on the outside, you looking in like, damn, what the fuck is really going on here? Like, this nigga is really trying to buy his way back into the coochie. And some women, they're really oblivious to this shit. They'll be like, oh no, he's just being nice. He's just being nice. He doesn't want me. He doesn't think about me. We're not on that. And then turns out he is on that. He's pointed it out several times that he's on that. And so a lot of times that causes strains in communications and things like that, because men know when other men are trying to push up on they lady. This is why situations go the way that they go, because as much as you want to love that person, when you give them the signs that this is bullshit and they choose not to hear it, it kind of makes you question their judgment. Like, damn, you really that blind, or do you think I'm just that stupid? And you see it. You see it. You listen, it's a lot of different standards and rules when it comes to relationships, because a lot of times people don't be understanding each other because there is no communication. We start off relationships and then we do things and we break the trust, and then we'll act like the other person is tripping. No, the other person ain't tripping. You violated. You broke trust. I've been in situations with people that I've dealt with that have cursed me out, lied on my name, disrespected me, made me feel like nothing, and then turn around and expect everything to be cool. But sometimes we forgive shit because, again, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I fucked up. Hell yeah. Yeah, I did. But the thing with us is we can say that we fucked up. There are a lot of people walking around this earth right now that still will tell you to this day they did nothing wrong ever. And then they'll tell you what their friends think about you, what their family think about you. They'll tell you all these things, and you'll sit there and you'll be like, damn, so you really sit here and let all these people talk about me? What did you say? What did you do? What did you say to defend my name? And 9 times out of 10, they ain't do shit. They ain't do shit. They just ate that shit up. They ain't do shit. Sometimes you got to tell people, listen, I never let nobody shit on nobody that I deal with behind their back. You got something to say it to them. Don't do it behind their back. That shit weak. That shit weak. But listen, communication. You gotta have that communication. Y'all gotta learn how to communicate. Y'all gotta learn how to talk, and y'all gotta learn how to build. Y'all gotta learn how to understand. So, needless to say, right? It's sometimes people are just hard-headed and they don't want to communicate. And sometimes you're forced to cut communication off because of you want to salvage whatever of the relationship is left. What I suggest, though, honestly, if y'all having a miscommunication, y'all having a sit down where y'all are beefing with each other and y'all are not in sync, then this is where y'all got to start having the conversations and figure out if y'all gonna make it. But hear me when I say this: relationships, conversations are meant to listen to hear, not listen to react. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't listen to hear or to understand. They listen to react, and they listen to get their point across, and they listen to be right. Okay, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? If a person is coming at you wholeheartedly and they're telling you their feelings and they're telling you everything that's going on, you got to take that and believe that, because sometimes this might be your only chance to get them to open up. They might not be ready to open up to you again. And all it takes is to have a conversation, turn off the phones, turn off the TV, and just listen to each other, give each other the floor and just listen. You know what I'm saying? The real explanation for this is simple. Love is a living thing, right? If you don't feed it water and nurture it, it will die. You know, don't let comfort kill your connection. Don't wait until you thirsty to dig the well. Start digging now. All right. If the water runs out, the water just runs out. And then I don't know if you can get it back. I don't. I think once it runs dry, it ain't over till it's over. Don't get it twisted. It ain't over till it's over. It's never going to be over. But I think if you don't want it to be over, start taking care of it before it gets to that point. Y'all know what it is with me. January 10th, I'm with my people. We live in effect, Chicago, Illinois. My first ever live show. January 10th is up. January 12th, I'll explain all this later. Season 4 drops. Episode 1 drops. That's what I'm on right now. I'm on peace. Bring me peace or get the fuck away from me. Straight up. I ain't with the back and forths and the arguing and the games and the, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna, no, fuck all that. Fuck all that. You either genuinely with me or you not. And if you not, I can tell you right now, that line is already gonna be established. I'm not going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm not playing those games with anybody. All right. If I tell you something, that's what it is. Okay, we ain't gotta go for what? We ain't got to do all of that. If I tell you something, that's what it is. January is my time. My time is now, and I feel it. I feel it coming. February, we spinning the block with a whole different show in a whole different city. Then this summer, we probably gonna turn up in about 3 or 4 different cities. So you gotta understand the mindset that Big Smash is on right now. I spent the whole part of 2025 arguing with people and being mad and being upset and doing all this goofy shit. I'm not doing it. I refuse to. Life is too short. I'm 39. I ain't 16, 17, 18 no more. I'm 39. It's time to have fun. It's time to have a ball. It's time to live life. So with that being said, man, listen, I don't know if I don't talk to y'all again this year. I just want y'all to be out here enjoying life. Piece it up, live, blessings, do your thing. I don't know what my plans is. Hey, I sleep. I don't be out going crazy on New Year's Eve and all that. Man, for what? I refuse. Y'all already know what it is with me. I catch y'all when I catch y'all, man. I'm out.